G12. This is the first history lesson in Term 2 titled The Ottomans Built a Vast Empire. It's Chapter 2, Section 1, and it talks about the Islamic or the Muslim Empire. Turkish warriors lived in Anatolia. The Turks lived in Anatolia on the edge of the Byzantine Empire. They considered themselves as Ghazis or warriors who fight for Islam. From the 1300s to the 1326, Osman, a successful Ghazi, built a state in Anatolia. This was the first Muslim state to be built in the Byzantine Empire. The Europeans call him Osman and the followers the Ottomans. The Ottomans won battles because they used muskets and cannons. The successors expanded the state through alliances and land buying. Orkan, Osman's son, declared himself Sultan. In 1361, the Turks conquered Adrianople. Ottomans ruled fairly over all the conquered people. Next, Timur the Lame or Tamerlane rose to power in Central Asia. In 1402, Timur defeated the Ottomans, burning Baghdad. Then came Murad II with his expansions. After Murad came his son, Mehmed II. He conquered Constantinople in 1453. He opened a city to the Jews, Christians, and Muslims for it to be rebuilt again after it was burned. In 1512, Selim the Grim, Mehmed's grandson, came to power. He defeated the Persians, who were the Safavids at that time, and pushed them into North Africa. He conquered Mecca, Medina, and Cairo, which were at that time three of the most important Muslim cities. One of the great rulers during the Byzantine Empire was Suleiman the Lawgiver, Selim's son. He ruled from 1520 to 1566. After Suleiman ruled, he conquered Belgrade in 1521 and Rhodes in 1522. Ottomans at that time controlled the eastern Mediterranean region. The Turks took North African coastline. They also controlled the inland trading routes. Suleiman's forces advanced to Vienna. By 1526, the Ottoman Empire was the largest Muslim empire in the world. Highly structured, Suleiman created a law code to reduce bureaucracy and to simplify the taxation process. The army uses Defschreim, which are draft boys from the conquered land. These boys were used for many reasons. Some of them were used to be trained in the army, and some of them were used as slaves or farm boys. Suleiman also trained 30,000 elite soldiers known as the Janissaries. They were only loyal to the Sultan. The Jews and the Christians were allowed to stay in the city and the empire, and they were allowed to practice their own religion. Suleiman's interests in this cultural and religious diffusion allowed the empire to flourish. Other than freedom of religion, also there was another development in arts and learning. Sinan, a brilliant architect, designed the magnificent Mosque of Suleiman. For every empire, there has to be a decline and a fall. So the empire started declining slowly. Suleiman kills one of his sons and he exiles the other. The third son inherits the throne, but he rules very weakly. So later, the sultans kill the brothers and leave their sons uneducated so that they do not control or inherit weakly. Eventually, a very long line of weak sultans led to the empire's fall. This is where we stop for chapter 3, section 1. If you have any questions, please write them down. What you are required to do is to draw a very specified timeline where you start with the very first ruler of the Byzantine Empire, which was Osman. Start by writing the name and the date on the timeline and go along with the people who ruled in the Ottoman Empire. This will make it very easier for you, and we will revise the timeline together as we go along in the next sessions. If you have any questions, please keep them noted until we meet in our next online session.